Greetings and hello, truth seekers and cyber wonders. How do you like my new look? It will probably be temporary, so don't get too used to it, or do I don't know. Today I'm coming at you with a bit of a shorter video. In my research of the unknown, I have stumbled upon something that I'm not completely sure about, and that is what I'm dubbing the mystery of the bee. Basically, I have noticed imagery and allusions to bees in various Freemason and occult corners. So without further delay, allow me to schizo rant about. I first started noticing bee symbolism while researching classical art for Freemason imagery. It was when I was looking at the Renaissance painting, School of Athens, that I noticed it. The top of this archway appears to have a honeycomb pattern. Of course, this isn't a solid connection in its own, but this was only the beginning of my research. And you can actually see I posted my first findings back in June 2022. The School of Athens was commissioned by a Medici banking family, making a connection to Freemasonry. And what I found is that in the Freemason circle, beekeeping is considered a noble practice. A little odd maybe, but what is so special about the honeycomb pattern? You might have heard that honeycomb is the strongest structure made by nature. What gives honeycomb its strength is the hexagonal tube structure. You might not have known that the hexagon is considered sacred geometry. It represents the heart chakra. It's the Star of David and is associated with the Kabbalistic tree of life. In Christianity, represents burying the old sinful self. Basically, the hexagon appears everywhere. But what about the bee? Bees have been historically associated with royalty. But in Christianity, the bee is considered sacred. Why the bee is sacred is a bit confusing. The reason we are giving is the bee is sacred because the wax is sacred. This, however, is an example of the begging the question fallacy. Looking to the Bible, I found Psalm 19:10, in which the Word of God is described as honeycomb, the honey being God's truth as revealed to the world. You can find bees in tons of Christian and historical artworks. Oftentimes they appear abruptly or without explanation. But it was when I was doing research for my previous video. Why do celebrities make these hand gestures? When I was surprised to come across this Masonic art depicts Hiram Abiff with a bee's hive. Hiram Abiff I mentioned briefly in my previous video, being a foundational character of third-degree masonry. But this is the first solid connection between bees and Freemasonry. As I did further research, I found that the beehive can be found everywhere in Freemason art and even architecture. But this brings me to why beekeeping is considered noble. I think it's connected to the fact that beekeepers actually live longer lives. Some sources point out that air from beehives carry beneficial properties. Others give credit to the beekeeping lifestyle. But I think there is one more reason for this, the secret reason. You might have heard that the bee's ability to fly defied science. In fact, I've heard many pastors proclaim that the bee was proof of God's power. And perhaps this is why the bee is sacred. But we now know that the bee can fly because its wings beat at a frequency that creates an electric field around them. I theorize that this frequency has healing properties, and this is where I'm currently at with my research. The elite have long tried to hide the significance of frequencies, because if we knew that we are frequency beings, and that we are able to manipulate and manifest the world around us, we could no longer be controlled. If only we knew our true potential. Speculation time. Could there be a more sinister undertone? Depopulation has been a long talked about topic, with many experts adding it to the list of ways the world will end, with beekeeping apparently being taken up by Freemasons. Dare I say the elites are hoarding the bees? All I'm saying is that if beekeeping becomes illegal in the near future, don't say I didn't warn you, but that's where I'm at in my research. I'm still left with some questions, such as why Freemason imagery mostly depicts the beehive. I theorize that it symbolizes the pineal gland, but that's a topic for another day. That's all I got. Just a short video while I'm still working on the World Fair video. Let me know in the comments if you have any insight or questions. Thank you all for watching. Roll the outro.
All my diamonds shine, cause they really diamonds. Bad bitches in line, they be really trying. They ask me if I'm high, I say really, really. Got money on my mind, I say really, really. I look like I've been ballin', cause I'm really ballin'. I wanna apologize, I'm not really sorry. They ask me if I'm lying, I say really, really. I'm really on my mind, I say really, really. Really, really. Make 'em believe, I made 'em believe.